Yes, guys, welcome to FPL Winners. We are live. It's me and last year's winner of FPL, Ali Yahangarov. Ali, how you doing, mate?
Not too bad at all. How are you, Gianni?
I'm very well, mate. I was delighted to see you at Arsenal. Here you are sporting the new Arsenal third kit. And you obviously had your trip to London, which was your trip for winning FPL. So you got two games in there, right? That was why you weren't on with me last week. You were at Man United Arsenal.
Oh yes, it's been an amazing week. Especially the Manchester United game was just unbelievable. So I couldn't really make it to the stream because I was on the way back. So I made it safely, as you can see. So happy to be back at FPL Winners tonight.
Excellent, mate. I've got some good news. So far, so good with our audio. I'm probably speaking a little bit louder than you, but it sounds like we're all good. And if you're listening on podcast, hopefully we are music to your ears this Sunday evening, or by the time you're listening, perhaps it's Monday morning. But hello to everyone in the chat as well. Good to see G Wiz and Jamie and Mohammed. Thank you, guys. If you've got any want to add to the conversation, please do. We're reading all the comments in the chat as always. But look, today is about identifying the FPL winners of the game week. Now, usually we'd do that off the back of a game week. This week's a little bit different. So we're not going to be analysing the fixtures as we perhaps usually would do on a Sunday night. Next Sunday, we'll be doing that off the back of game week 5. Today, we're going to be having a little bit of a recap and a little bit of a debrief because we've got some data now. We've got the first 4 seasons with the data. So we'll look at some of the XG over and under performers from the Scout members area. But we'll also have a look at our bus teams and talk about some of our dilemmas. Ali, how's your start of the season gone? Because 631k, you're probably only 5 or 10 points ahead of me. I'm on 1 million. But yeah, you've obviously had a good game week because you're on a green arrow.
Yeah, I had a couple of good uh, game weeks and a couple of bad ones. So not sure how it's going to affect the overall beginning of the season because every result is unpredictable. But I'm happy with it so far. So.
Nice. And Ali, tell us a little bit about your trip to London again, because some are just joining us to go, Ali, we need a vlog. We need a vlog about your trip. So just tell us, what did you think of London? Have you been to London before? Was this your first trip?
That was my first trip actually, and it was really amazing. The city itself, lots of places to see, lots of really good historical places to see, which was absolutely amazing. All the tours in Buckingham Palace, the National History Museum. It was really nice to be, to actually see it with my own eyes. And we've had a, good time with my partner, and it was an amazing trip. We've 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 done a lot of walking around. It's a big city, and getting around sometimes on a bus, sometimes in the tube. It was really a fun week of London, I'd say.
I'm absolutely devastated that I didn't see you. Like, because I knew you were coming with a few days' notice, and I was like, Ali, we can try and make this work. Like, the way my work schedule got in the way that week, and unfortunately, I'm so far out of London, I couldn't just nip in.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I would have loved to see some of the FPL people, but like uh, in reality, like you would say, the week is a long time to, but it just flew away like nothing. I felt like it was a couple of days, but 1 week just flew by really fast.
And Ali, just FYI, a few in the chat saying our audio is good in terms of quality, but you might need to just speak up a bit or turn your volume up a tad. I think mine's all right, but yours is perhaps a bit low. Are you wearing, Ali, the third Arsenal third kit there, the green kit?
Yeah, this is a third kit of Arsenal, and it's funny because I didn't like it at first because I don't know. You always question yourself how good are the last year third kit was really nice. The away kit was unbelievable as well, but this year. I had my questions about a third kit, but when I tried it on, I realized I want to buy it. So it's it's I got two. The first one with the name Ali on the back of the shirt. It was a home kit, and this one it was Saka on the back. So I really like it.
There we go. We'll talk a little bit about Saka later. Jamie in the chat as well. Mustafa's there. CH says if you turn down a little bit, Gianni, we can turn everything up to compensate for Ali's audio being low. CH, I promise you, I'm already whispering and I've moved my mic away. But of course, I tried that. Come on, CH, what did you take me for? Guys, little humble brag here. That Arsenal third kit, that green kit, I was at the Arsenal training ground when they were doing their photos with Adidas for all the new kits. So about, I don't know, game week 32, whenever, game week 30, I was doing some video content for Arsenal. You may have seen it on the Arsenal YouTube channel. Check it out with Jorginho, Smith Rowe, and Xhaka. And they were wearing all the new, I could see them, all the new training kit, which is why the video didn't come out to the end of the season. But I also saw the green kit and I saw Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli modeling the yellow one as well. And I was told, you cannot take any photos, you cannot tell anyone. But I remember saying in my head out, like, that Arsenal green kit is sensational. I can't wait for people to see that. So I'm delighted to see Ali has bought it. I also, by the way, saw Gabriel Jesus on the angle. We were doing a drill, kicking the ball from the 18-yard line, trying to get top bins. There was cutouts in the goal. We were all missing it. Like, obviously, the pros were getting it in sometimes. Gabriel Jesus, in his socks, tears away from his photo shoot in Martinelli. The ball rolls to him on the angle with his left foot, 30 yards out from the angle, and he sticks it top bin. I couldn't, through the little hole in the goal. I couldn't believe my eyes. There, I was watching Jorginho, Smith Rowe, and Xhaka miss loads from the 18-yard line with trainers on. This is barefoot, just socks on, and I was like, oh, Jesus, you are an absolute baller. And we've had a question in the chat. What's our thoughts on Gabriel Jesus? If we think he's back game week 5, Ali, are you looking at Arsenal attack outside of Saka? And if so, is Jesus on your radar?
I'm currently tripled up on Arsenal with Martinelli, Saka, and let me put up my team at the moment. Just a second.
Of course you didn't sell Martinelli ahead of you watching him twice.
Oh, yes. Of course. And I knew the Everton game is... Looking at that Everton defense is just, I cannot sell one of my favorite FPL assets coming into this game week. And so I have basically triple Arsenal with Saliba, Martinelli, and Saka. And I was really considering Gabriel Jesus because watching that United game, and I was at the back of that goal when he scored. And as soon as he came on, he was really dangerous on the wings and as well attacking, creating, being really tricky, hard to deal with. And Gabriel Jesus is really, really, I would say, interesting option because at the moment with Nicholas Jackson up front, I'm not sure if I want to make a transfer ahead of the Bournemouth game away, even though his XG data is fairly good, even though he didn't really convert all of the chances he was given. So I think I don't have a striker spot right now with all the double game weeks coming in and with Morris hype. I think Gabriel Jesus it's a little bit early for him to be considered. So,
Ali, your bus team, I mean, it looks good, and there's a lot of similarities between our teams. Before I ask you the actual question, give me a yes or no on this. Are you considering bringing in Son game week 5?
The only possible way to get Son is selling Martinelli.
Well, yeah, this or Foden, right? Could you sell Foden to get to Son?
Nah, I'm like 0.4 million short.
Okay, well, you could sell Rashford to get to Son, though.
Oh yeah, I could sell Rashford, but I'm not sure I want to sell Rashford ahead of those good fixtures. Even a lot of people are doubled up on Manchester United attack with Bruno and Rashford sitting there, and I cannot really, go in there without any of the attacking assets.
Can't you? To get Son, who plays Sheffield United? Because I'm looking at maybe making that move, and I would have to sell. Like you, I would have to sell Foden, Saka, or Rashford. I ain't selling Saka, neither are you. He's on the back of your shirt. But I could sell Rashford or Foden. Like, what's your take there? Do you think you'll make that Son move in?
The fact that I'm already doubled up on Spurs with the Doggy and Madison, I think I'm a little bit safe there, but if I want to push, I'm not considering selling Rashford, to be honest. Maybe Foden for a hit and changing one of the maybe defenders. But I think for a hit and captain and Son is a really interesting option. But I'm not selling any of the Rashford, Martinelli, Saka, or Madison. So it just it just I don't know. Son has done wonders last game week, and he's a streaky player. I think it's that time of the season when you get a few FPL options start firing, and the run goes usually for 5 or 6 game weeks, and you don't want to miss out on any of those. So I think Son. It depends on international break as well. If he's still fit, if my team is looking okay, I don't have a middle golden middle ground. I'll either take a hit or roll. So I can't really sell Martinelli for Son.
Who would your hit be for to get Son in? Would it be to hit Foden out?
Yes, I think I'll get rid of Foden, and I might um, maybe get rid of Estupinian.
Okay. Guys, by the way, do check out the Scout members area if you haven't already. Like, I'm sure many of you are fans of Scout. You're obviously watching Scout on YouTube. If you haven't considered the members area, it is awesome, and it's not much for a ton of data. I spent some time in the members area this morning, and I look back on all of I think the last 5 or 6 seasons from Son. He overperforms his XG every single season. He's never underperformed it. Every season he's been at Spurs, he's overperformed his XG. How mental is that? So yeah, got a lot of time for Son. I was just looking at him because obviously I want to bring him in this week, but I was thinking to bring him in, I've got to make a compromise, as Ali has. At the moment, it's between Rashford or Foden. I can sell either in a straight swap without a hit. I've got money in the bank. I think I'm favouring selling Rashford. I love Foden as well, Ali, but it is dangerous selling Rashford because Brighton at home is a good fixture, isn't it, for Man United?
Oh yes, it is a good fixture. I mean, any game at Old Trafford is a good fixture for Man United, but I'm not sure whether the outside pitch disturbance will, you know, some kind of affect the performances on the pitch because the situation with Sancho and Anthony at the moment, we've heard that he will not be available for a couple of weeks until he gets all his personal issues resolved. But I think with Manchester United, I'm really at this game week. I really want to look at Rasmus Højlund because he looked really lively against Arsenal. So this is one of the big. I'm highly considering him for the next game week because not this game week will be just a wait and watch and see how he performs. But starting with game week 6, I think he could be a really good differential.
Yeah, I'm with you there on Højlund. Good little cameo against Arsenal. Let's have a look at my bus team next up, Ali. Oh no, this is mine. Yeah. So
It is yours,
look,
yeah.
do you know our teams are so similar. Our midfield is so similar, and we've got the same attacking too. Yeah, our attacking 7 players that we start each week. There's only one difference. I've got Matoma and you've got Martinelli. But then and we both got Turner, both got Stupinan, both got Chilwell. So yeah, Gvardiol and Colwell are 2 differences. I'm going to be bringing in Son. I'm going to be bringing in Son this week. I just don't know who for, and it'll be a straight swap. I could sell. I can't quite go Matoma to Son, so I'm about 0.2, 0.3 short. But it'll be Foden or Rashford for me. So yeah, I'm well set. What about captaincy this week, Ali?
I was going to ask the same.
Because you went against Haaland, didn't you, game week 1? And you've said it a lot. Last season, you went against Haaland quite a bit, especially when he was away from home, when one of your home players has a great fixture. If you take a 4-point hit to get Son in, I think you'll be doing that to captain him.
You're right there because there's only one way to. I'm not sure if Madison has a high enough ceiling with Son playing number 9 because he will be creating and scoring 5 goals against was it Burnley away. He was only involved in one of them. I'm not saying this will be the case every game week, but at least he had scored one goal in a game. But having Son playing as a number 9, I think most of the points will be just taken by Son, and uh, he's a really viable captaincy options because Holland playing away at West Ham United. You never know with Holland. He could, end up scoring 3 or 4 goals against a good opposition as well. But West Ham are, a low block team with defense really deep, and they could even, hurt City on the counter and as well as on the set piece because James Ward-Prowse came into a team already good on set pieces with the physical defenders scoring headers right, left, and center. So I think City will, have a tough game, and that's a good opportunity to bet against him. And attacking Spurs team against Sheffield United at home. If Son plays as a number 9, I think there's a really good potential of a haul there. So I think if I bring him in for a -4, I might as well just captain him.
I've read the book, mate. I know, I know your gameplay, and look, I'd be the same. For those of you that can't get to Son, that will only get to him with a -4. For me, those -4s are so much more worth it if you're bringing him into captain. I'm 50-50 on who I'm going to captain this week. I like West Ham defensively at home. I always have done under Moyes. I can't see Haaland going big, but Haaland can go big against any opposition. We know that. But if you're playing the fixture, well, again, I was looking at attempts in the Scout members area earlier. Top for attempts this season is Brighton. Second for attempts is Spurs. I think Man City were third. Expected goals conceded, again, Sheffield United, I think, were bottom 3. I think they were third bottom, maybe 18th. You can spin the narrative how you want, right? We always do. We tend to be captaincy. It's a very brave call to go against Haaland so early because it feels at times suicidal when you do that, especially when you're doing it with a player who hasn't been brilliant last season or even game week 1, 2, and 3 this. But in the number 9, we feel like we can back Son. But then that does also beg the question, is it a guaranteed banker that Son starts number 9 again? It should be. Like, if I was a betting man, I'd say Son's going to play 9 again. And actually, the front 3 shouldn't change. We should see Solomon and we should see Kulu. But if Richarlison came back in, I wouldn't be gobsmacked. I'd be surprised. I wouldn't be gobsmacked.
I think it's just a guessing game at the moment because you don't know how Sheffield United will be setting up against a good attacking team. I think they might just bank on their counterattacks because they will sit deep. Otherwise, we know what happened to Burnley, who tried to play a decent style of football, attacking, and I think Company's team tried to go toe to toe with a better quality team as well, and they just really. I'm not sure it will be the case at Sheffield United because they've shown that they can defend fairly well against City in that game because I don't remember. I'm not sure if I watched that game, but I don't remember City having lots of chances to score. They had a penalty that Haaland missed, and they've nicked it in the end. So it's not a given, but it's just a guessing game. With how Spurs looking at the moment going forward, I think they're it's a good you never know, but it's a good shout.
There'll be some that worry and spin the narrative of Sheffield United will go to Spurs with a low block and Son relies, on fast ball over the top and a deep line won't suit him. And Sheffield and Burnley played such a high line and Burnley was away from home, therefore it suits Son. If Spurs score early, Sheffield United won't be playing a deep block and won't be the deepest defence. Like, if there's an early goal, which there very much could be, it could be a rout. Under Ange Postecoglou, this team is dynamic. It finds ways, it creates chances, and it shoots on sight. So, yeah, I'm very tempted.
It could be weird coming from the Arsenal fan, but Spurs team is completely different this year because they have different routes to a goal. They play a different style of football. Madison has made them completely different team because they have a threat from the middle of the park and the fullbacks bombing forward. Udogi is looking really decent, as well as Poro has a goal threat as well. So it's hard to overlook Spurs assets because they've been attacking from all over the park, all over the pitch, and I think it's one of those that I don't like watching them play play well, but at the same time I'm excited for Spurs fans because they've been really struggling with defending minded coaches, managers, and good football wasn't really there.
Yeah, okay. Let's move on, Ali, and talk about some of the over and under expected performers, because this is an asset this is a stat we like, and it's a good discussion point. So yeah, hit us with your first grab, Ali, of either the overs or the unders, and if you can turn your mic up a tad according to the chat.
Okay. It's underachievers at the moment, so let's talk about them. So Jackson is number one in that list. I think the XG numbers are overall for first four game weeks, I believe.
Yes,
and
first four, yeah.
So he's got a lot of chances. His XG is 3.03, and he's only scored one goal. So it's tough because the XG data is really he's done well for a team, to be honest. Like his overall gameplay is not too bad. Watching him, like he looks like a useful player. He's bringing in others to play, and I like him as a player, but his attacking stats are not there, and we need FPL points. We don't need him, being a good player for Chelsea. We need goals, we need assists, and he's topping the underachievers chart at the moment. The number two is Watkins. I think we've expected a lot more from him first couple of game weeks, even in easy fixtures. I think he's still doing great for a team. It's the same case, but he's not on penalties. We know that. It really reduces the his attractiveness as an FPL asset, but he's still a good player, and the points are well spread in Aston Villa team at the moment. Even though they had a bad 2 game weeks against Liverpool and was it Newcastle that really
it was the opening game, wasn't it?
Yeah, so 2 of the games, Unai Emery had a couple of bad performances when he was managing Arsenal as well. There are some teams that are not really suited to play against for Unai Emery's system, and I think sometimes those results will come when it's just not clicking and they will just concede 3 or 4, and so one of those days. But going forward, I think Aston Villa has enough in their locker just to blow some of the teams away. And you want to go on with other underachievers?
Yeah, so I mean, someone asked in the chat, where can we get this data? This is obviously from the Scout members area. Of course it is. And if you're not a member, then this is stuff you get, which is really useful. We're going to talk about the overachievers in a minute. I've seen some mentions of Darwin in the chat. We'll get there. But I mean, the first two are the most topical, Jackson and Watkins, because these are guys that are highly owned. Like, these are guys we own in FPL. A lot of these, like, we don't need to talk about Mope and Neto and Fabio Silva because they're simply just not going to be in your teams anytime soon. Watkins is interesting for the main reason for me why Watkins is so interesting is Diaby is going to be on the next list we show in a minute. We won't show it yet, but in the overachievers, Diaby features. And if we're going to buy an Aston Villa attacker, why spend 8 million on Watkins when Diaby is 6.5 and they're producing similar output, and one is overachieving, actually one is under? But you might go, yeah, well, 90-minute appeal. Well, they're both going to get 70, 80 minutes plus it starters most games. You might go, oh, penalties. Well, Watkins doesn't have penalties anymore. And then you get an extra point for a goal and a clean sheet as a midfielder anyway. Like Diaby over Watkins is such an easy decision for me when I move towards the Aston Villa attack now. And Jackson, yeah, we've been unlucky owners, but keep the faith. The old cliche of all you're getting the chances. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, by the way, please hit the like button. Pretty disheartened to see only 25 of you have hit that like button. Come on. I mean, Bruno's interested in here, Ali. Like Bruno owners can really count themselves unlucky, can't they? Like 2.07 is his XG. He scored 1 goal. I remember a point blank header he missed, which was probably responsible for about 0.6, 0.7 of that XG.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the most of that XG was accumulated during the Spurs game, because against Wolves at home he didn't really do much. Against Arsenal as well, 2 or 3 of those games Bruno was really poor, but he delivered points against Forest at home, which was the game week that I kept him in. And I think that was the most. Those 2 games he really affected the high XG.
Yeah, they did. What do you reckon if Anthony isn't around? Man United fans are perhaps saying, could see Bruno playing on the right. If we see Bruno on the right, he's in the front 3. He's a much better FPL asset, I think. And it'll be really interesting to see if he plays Bruno out on the right, because we know when the midfield are all fit at times, when Anthony has gone off in a game, Bruno will go and play the last 20 minutes on the right. Will Ten Hag start him on the right, knowing he's already a midfielder down in Mason Mount? Or will he feel like he needs Bruno's presence in the middle? Now, they have signed Amrabat, who could be available game week 5. I don't think we know the answer to that. But McTominay is still scoring goals for Scotland. Could he come in? What's your take there, Ali? Because Pellistri could play on the right, or we could see Rashford on the right and Garnacho playing on the left. Like there's a world in which that happens. And if Rashford's playing on the right, again, an easier sell for me.
I think the game in the middle of the park will be really important against Brighton.
Yeah, good point.
It's
you need Bruno there, don't you?
Yeah, you need Bruno right there, because on the flank, usually the wingers are doing a lot of their work on the flank, on the wings, because it's a energy consuming position. You have to just run back and forth. But in the middle, you really have the control, the importance of keeping the ball. And Bruno is one of those guys that really can control the tempo of the game, and I think he will be deployed in the middle of the park. But as you said, Garnacho played well when he started, even off the bench as well. Garnacho could easily play on the left and Rashford on the right. He's played there quite some time, and Højlund, I think he's started for the Denmark as well. So I'm pretty sure the Højlund will get a start against Brighton, because he was really good against Arsenal in his little short cameo. And Rashford will play. I'm not sure. But I reckon he will play on the right.
It's going to be interesting. I know there's Man United fans going, "Oh, Pellestri's got to come in." I don't think Pellestri's going to be a starter. We know Ten Hag in game week 5, I don't think he'll be a starter. We know Ten Hag is willing to start Garnacho, who obviously didn't impress, but we could see him come in. So yeah, let's monitor that one closely, guys. So look, the XG achievers, overachievers, just keep your eyes on. No, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say keep your eyes on Pedro Neto, because I've got a soft spot for him. But no, let's just go this list. Jackson, Watkins, Bruno are the main FPL assets. But let's have a look at the overachievers, because here, there's some FPL assets of interest here. Starting Ali, I think, with Darwin Núñez, who looked amazing for Uruguay again the other night. 2 assists last time out, 2 goals before that. I still don't know if he's absolutely nailed, but get 1 or 2 more starts on the bounce in the Premier League, and I think we can safely say Darwin Núñez is back on our FPL radar again.
I think Klopp likes to change the system depending on the opposition, and I'm not sure they have too much quality up front with Jota, with Gakpo, with Darwin himself. I think they will be rotated, and I'm not sure with Darwin. I love him as an FPL asset, because even if he comes off the bench, I think he could easily score 1 or 2 against the really tired legs of the opposition. But I'm not sure about Liverpool, even though they haven't really, done anything bad or had really poor games. I think they're just too prone to rotation. With there are too many good options, and I can't really. With FPL, we need nailed, stable, and consistent options to deliver points. So I like him as a player, honestly, but I'm not sure I can make a spot for him in my team at the moment. It's tough. Maybe from game week 8 or 9 when their fixture turn, I think I'll consider him or Luis Diaz instead of bringing in highly, expensive Mo Salah.
Yeah, I think I might be there. Trent's also of interest for those as well that are maybe looking at a game week 9 wildcard. There's a good swing there for Liverpool. And yeah, apologies, Darwin isn't on this list. This is the overachievers from the first 4 game weeks. If you just look at the overachievers from game week 4, then Darwin is top of that list. Or maybe game week 3. That was when I think he scored the 2 goals. But look, top of this list, there is definite FPL interest in Son. We spoke about him earlier. Evan Ferguson, I think, has got perhaps an injury or flag, so we need to wait and hear more. Haaland, as always, is overperforming, but Solly March as well. Ali, I know Brighton have got tough fixtures, but knowing they shoot more than everyone else, they accumulate great XG. Solly March has flown massively under the radar, hasn't he?
Yes, absolutely. I was when I went without Mitoma and Mbomo, I think I was really thinking to bring in March. But Foden and Madison just was really good enough for me to not to look elsewhere because Brighton fixtures were turning really bad, and I think his points really reduced after the second or third game week. He scored in the first game. The second, I think in the third, I'm not sure, but March, I was really considering him because I got before I got Madison. Now I think I'll just wait until their poor game week run just ends and then maybe consider, because they with the Europe in play, I think they will be rotating, and I want to see more of the players that are nailed in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think I'm right. I think I'm with you there. And even Evan Ferguson, top of the charts here. My only concern with Evan Ferguson, even if when he's fit, is with European football, De Zerbi is going to rotate those attacking spots. And I think from all the attacking spots, those that will get the most minutes are March and Matoma. Certainly Matoma. I mean, Ansu Fati could come in and steal some of March's minutes, sure. But the number 9 and 10, even with injuries to the likes of Enciso, you could see Lallana playing with Welbeck. You could see Welbeck playing with Ferguson. You could see a variety. Pascal Gross, if needed, can step into a number 10 role. There's still various combinations there.
I think
Fati could play central. You never know.
The only position Pascal Gross didn't play, I think it's a goalie, because he's played all over the pitch and he's done quite well in every position because he's
a great player.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's actually played for Germany as well. He got a call.
Has he got a cap, has he?
Yeah. He got a call recently. I'm not sure if he got any minutes, but he got a call up for the national team.
Oh, I love that. He made his debut for Germany against Japan.
Well deserved, I must say.
Yeah, last night he made his debut. He's 32 years old, so to still be called up at 32, fair play. I'm delighted for him.
Imagine what it means to a player to get a call up at 32.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is great. It's for a team like Germany as well. Yeah, he played for the under-18s and 90s and 20s, so fair play. And anyone else? Go on.
And this says how much Brighton have come as a team, because the majority of their team is selecting for their national teams as well, and they're playing for good teams, I must say. And this just says that fair play to Brighton as well. Their players have done really well to deserve that.
Yeah, for podcast listeners, other names on this list we've not discussed. Hwang at Wolves, Romero as a defender. Awoniyi at Forest has had a great end to last season and start to this. Diaby, as mentioned, and Foster at Burnley as well. But final thoughts from you, Ali. in terms of your likely transfers, you mentioned there's a world in which you roll, or there's a world in which you take a -4. Do you think as the weeks go on, or as the days go on this week, sorry, Son will become more of a factor? Like, if I was to ask you what's the percentage chance you're going to captain Haaland this week, are you like 60-70% likely, or are you completely like me at 50-50?
I'm not over 50, to be honest. I'm not sure with Holland. Just because the other players have good fixtures as well. I'm not sure West Ham away is a good fixture for Holland.
Well, I mean, would you? I know Saka. I know what you're like with captain. You like a home. If
Yeah.
Saka was at home to Everton, I think you'd probably go there, wouldn't you? But with Saka being away at Everton, does that fixture appeal to you in terms of captaincy then, or not?
Everton in the last couple of seasons, Everton away wasn't absolutely. It was a game we lost points. I think last two years at Goodison Park, and we lost the games. We didn't lose points. We lost the both 2 games of the last seasons, and I think Arteta will be really keen on getting the revenge, because there is a narrative in the fan base that we're not good against Everton away, even though we always blow them away at home. But the Goodison Park, and I think we should be winning that game 3 or 4-0. So otherwise I would be just selling Martinelli and getting Son instead. So I'm backing my Arsenal guys again, and I think they'll do good this game week. I'm not sure if I'm ready to captain one of them because of the away game, but I'll be considering captaining one of the Spurs players.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and look, we hope and we think it will be Son on penalties. He's, of course, the captain. If he's not on the pitch, then it could be Maddison. I think we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it with Shaquel Goblin in the chat, who said it'll be a last-minute Tarkowski header. I love that. And yeah, maybe for all those Saliba owners that have got so many points already, can maybe have some more blanks. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Ali and I are going to be doing this every Sunday, guys. So if you like the idea of this, then support it by hitting that like button, because we need to know that this stream works. So if there's good engagement, if the numbers are good, obviously for Fantasy Football Scout, but if you're hitting the like button as well, that also adds to the chances of us continuing the stream throughout the season. So Ali's been off for a couple of weeks. I may have 1 or 2 weeks where I miss, but for the next couple, we'll definitely be together. So do tune in next Sunday. But for now, he's been Ali, I've been Gianni, and we've been Fantasy Football Scout.
Thank you, guys.